Jams!
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof?
Excuse
do you
me.
need? Give it up. You killed her.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, it's control to fast forward. Okay.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that,
But perhaps if you had an...
Oh, an alibi.
when you compare the modus operandi
Whoops! Accidentally tried to silence the thing I'm trying to shoot.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Yeah, slight difference. There's much less blood.
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Rude.
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things.
I can see that, yes.
Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything.
Well, you do clearly make your own sauce.
But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Delicious pink sauce. It's cotton candy flavored. I don't know how well that would go on pasta, but...
I got it!
I got it!
One, the cause of death is different.
They weren't stabbed to death! Or, she wasn't,
In
rather.
the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors.
Yes. A pair of scissors. Definitely not 5 of them. Each.
But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right? Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders. Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Ew.
Can you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
No, it was through the wrists, actually, which is much worse.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
Yep, some kind of mysterious rope with a plug.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them.
Is it skizzers? I feel like it might be skizzers.
Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
Caesar.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement.
I don't suppose you have a few pairs on you.
Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use.
Did you bring your own custom scissors to school with you?
And you know what else? Big Mac said there's 2 differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Yes.
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Right, Eric? So great.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
Why are her teeth literally a saw?
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They were dudes. Not that I can entirely tell from their names, but
They were all guys?
apparently.
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
So is Byakuya your next victim?
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the movie side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
What is with all these Italian chef analogies? There's far too many.
I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it.
Oh, I don't like Toko normally, but I absolutely love Jill. She's so great.
It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lolly car!
Lowly, cur.
Yeah, that's right. She went there.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell? Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Were you listening to any of that, Hifumi? She makes her own scissors. And also, I'm not entirely convinced she'd be able to lift that dumbbell. Or swing it hard enough to kill a person.
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
That you know of.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
Okay. That's... Sleep with one eye open, Byakuya.
She's fully equipped! That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you!
Yes, thank you, I agree.
Not to mention, I have no...
Also, that's a great name.
The rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal, and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Don't go too far. Here we go.
Answer.
I got it!
Byakuya, It's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
That's certainly what it sounds like.
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
Yeah, so I can't really decide whether I love Byakuya or hate him.
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me.
I feel like it's all of the above.
Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
I'm not really sure you have been acting suspicious. You've been acting like a dick, like, since we met.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
That is true now that you mention it. I didn't remember that because, like, it's been weeks, so...
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Okay, but how did you know who the victim was?
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
Hifumi, you're a moron. Stop talking. I was gonna say let the adults handle it, but really the only adult here is Hiro. So, yeah, do not let the adults handle it.
On the contrary,
Ever.
there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about you? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
Another one? Oh, right. I forgot about this. This seems annoying. Okay, do I get... Okay, I do get a truth bullet that I'm not going to use.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Just gonna grab that
He was acting weird.
because...
How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
Really? Even
The
you?
victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
Love cardboard cutouts. Okay, so do I don't have to re-grab that. That's good.
If you're presented with the opportunity to... That's a natural...
The victim was Chihiro.
Whoop!
No, that's wrong. I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Is it now? Enlighten me.
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us. What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it.
It's about time you said something, good lord.
We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
It's pretty clear, Makoto. Just think about it nice and... Yeah. Think about it nice and library desk lamp.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And
Sure
I
do.
use those same scissors to arrange the body.
Yep.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
No.
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Give
Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
Okay, fine. I'll just go through the entire thing again and actually slow down time this time.
Hey, Byakuya.
I'd never seen that rope before.
Boom, baby.
No, it's wrong. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord? What? An extension cord? Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message.
That's a nice confession. I know I accidentally skipped a text box, but, you know, that's just a nice wrap-up, right?
I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
Yeah, seems right to me.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
Okay, so you agree then?
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
Let me explain.
She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
Indeed.
Rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
It's been known to happen on occasion.
Hey, don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Is it perhaps... there it is. The posters!
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is... the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
No, Makoto, you said it wrong. It's the posters.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was...
Byakuya.
a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
That's just really weird to hear him say out loud.
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
Posters! I would have thought you, of all people, would have gotten that right.
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
No, Eric, you should... If you're gonna try, at least, like, start from the beginning of the game.
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
And replaced with blood, yes. Ya-ta-ta. Right.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Did we take a picture of it, or what?
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too?
And if so, how?
But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime?
Because can.
Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Black magic.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
She just looks so done with everything right now.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
Oh, please, do tell, Hero.
I highly doubt that.
Same?
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
No.